Well, good morning, glorious people of the internet. We are back at the trail, getting in those early morning steps before work. And today, I am using the FujiFilm FinePix XP-90. It is a 1080p, I think it's a 16 to 18 megapixel camera, 30 frames a second. It's a very entry level, what I would consider like an action camera from Fuji. And the reason why I decided to bring this one out of hibernation today is because the other cameras that we have been using this week, while I don't want to say they're high end, they are 4K, except for the Sony. The Sony was also 1080, but you know, it's Sony with autofocus and it's a $400 price point. So this camera is more of your entry-level shooter. So I wanted to compare this image and this audio with those other cameras to either A, separate them from the entry-level lot, or to show you that you can get the same kind of image with a lower price point. So again, 1080, 30 frames a second, probably has around a 4 or a 5 f-stop. So let's pan around, see what it looks like real quick. I'm at the ball fields. And at the moment, don't even know if I'm recording because the screen turned off. So let's find out. Okay, so a quick explanation about the video that you just saw, the clip. Kind of three things that led to the quality of that video. Number one, this particular camera doesn't have a light on the front that lets you know when it's recording. So it was made before the selfie craze was a big thing, and so the only way you know it's recording is looking on the screen on the back. So on the front, there's no indicator that lets you know if the camera's even recording. So I didn't know if it was or wasn't. So when I turned it around to get the landscape shot, that's when I noticed problem number two, and that was the fact that I was wearing polarized glasses. And the polarized glasses prevented me from seeing the screen, so the screen was blank, or appeared to be blank, so I figured the camera had shut off. And my selfie stick is falling, so let's raise that up. Alright, so number two is the polarized glasses, so I couldn't see the screen, so I assumed it had turned off, and that's problem number three. This particular camera, the battery is notorious for, I guess, for not lasting very long when you use video. I don't know why. I think it's because it's an older camera and the battery's just older, and so it doesn't hold the charge very long. So I had three things really working against me that culminated in me not thinking the camera was on and really cutting the video short. So just know that it was all operator error, learn from my mistakes, and hopefully now you're getting a better indication of what this camera is capable of doing. Very excited to see your thoughts comparing this very entry-level camera with the other cameras we've been using that are at a much higher price point comparatively to this camera. So hope you're having a great Friday, and we'll see you in the next episode. Okay, so we're back in the office and we've got the FujiFilm XP-90. We were just outside and you saw some of those images. Now we're here in the office environment using, again, like we've always done, 2 ring lights and the large window behind the camera, just to kind of test, and I don't want to say low light performance, but not outside light performance of this camera. And as we've mentioned before, this is a 1080, 30 frames per second camera, 18 megapixel shooting camera. And okay, love this camera. Audio is not terrible, but you do hear some internal noise, and I can only characterize it as kind of like a hiss or even a hum. I haven't been able to figure out why it's happening or what part of the camera is causing it to happen, but you do hear it there in the background. So there's that, and what I've done to kind of circumvent that is to record the audio on a separate device, and I'll do that tonight when I do the nighttime studio test of this camera. Some of the things I like about this XP-90, well, one, it's waterproof, dustproof, it's extremely durable, takes very respectable images and video outside where you're predominantly going to use this type of camera. Inside, not so much. So if you're a vlogger who is outside on a trail, camping, doing water sports, those kind of activities, this is a great entry-level shooter for you. I was pleasantly surprised at how good that video quality was this morning, and I compared it to the other cameras that we've used this week, and it stood up to those images. So very pleased with that. But then when I started doing my test videos here in the office, you could tell it got really mushy and soft. And so it just doesn't have that capability of being an indoor camera. So you let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the FujiFilm FinePix XP-90? And for now, we'll see you in the next one. All right, well, good evening. And now we are back in the office for the PM, kind of a low light test of the FujiFilm XP-90. Earlier we were outside. We saw how this performs in an exterior, outside, natural light, performs beautifully. I was very surprised at just how good it looks. Then we did an inside test with natural light and the 2 ring lights. And I got to tell you, that's when it really suffers because it's just not designed for, I think, that kind of usage. And similarly, here we're doing a studio type test. I'm not using the internal microphone this time. I have a Rode video microphone set up just out of frame, and I'm recording that audio on my iPhone. I will sync those up in post. And so the question really is it good enough? You tell me, if you were just starting out your YouTube journey and you needed a real entry-level, low-cost option for video, is this it? It's around $200 and, well, probably less than that. The newest version of this camera, the XP-140, is about $230. This particular camera, you could probably find well under $200. And if you went to eBay or a used camera site, you could probably get it around $100. Again, it's an 18 megapixel camera and it does shoot 1080p at 30 frames a second. So you are hitting that high def threshold, but is it good enough? And so that's a question you'll need to answer. I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know down below. This is the FujiFilm FinePix XP-90. We did use the DJI Osmo Pocket earlier, and so nice little comparison between these 2 cameras. So I'd love to hear your feedback. So leave me in the comments below. And again, if you are finding value in these videos, these comparisons, go ahead and hit that like button. And if this is something you want to see more of, go ahead and become a subscriber. Hit the little bell so you'll know when all the new videos come out. With that in mind, this is Mike, Low Def Media. We'll see you in the next one.